so we might as well just get right into it. This evening, I did talk to Doc. I don't think he's going to be able to make it into the AMA this evening. He may be able to jump in to listen for a little bit or briefly say hello. Um, but I did get confirmation that he would not, probably not be able to hop in. But that's no worries. We will spread the Dow love on his behalf and remind
Yeah,
everyone why we love Pax G. We all know, some of the key points that he likes to add. So we'll try to touch on some of that as well. Um,
yeah, I mean, it's pretty good. We were just kind of touching up and doing some writing on some key points of the protocol and what we like to emphasize really about what makes us different, what sets us apart. So it's always good to
yeah, I
keep in
do like
mind.
doing that. That's part of Monkey and I's job is just kind of like telling people about the protocol, reaching out. We'll talk about some upcoming AMAs we have in other Discord servers and stuff, but it is always fun to get to go back to the basics. Like I said, we do like talking about the future and stuff too, but we do get excited just describing what GoldMint is. Um, so for the sake of time, we'll just do two quick introductions here with Monkey and I on stage, and I'll go through the quick rundown. And if some people filter in shortly after, they should be just in time for any alpha we're going to let slide out. But for those of you who don't know, I'm Vu. I am the founder of GoldMint Finance. I have a co-founder, Doc, who works with me and an amazing team. Monkey's up here too. You'll get a quick introduction from him. But real quick, I've been in DeFi for about 6 years now, or at least following blockchain for about that long. But I would say that's almost properly worded. Almost immediately after I learned about Bitcoin, and those of you who know me well know I learned about it the day it passed the price of an ounce of gold. So that'll kind of tie everything here together by the end of the AMA, I'm sure, if it hasn't already. But ever since I really found that, I started to see some of the, just very first things being deployed on Ethereum and things of that nature when DeFi really just meant like participating in Uniswap. There were no farms to stake your Uniswap tokens. Like that was, lending and borrowing, your lending just to exchanges was really where it was at. And I started reaching out to people who were doing things with DAOs early on. And I've been around for that whole time and just interested in so many different aspects, not just the tokenomics or the practicality of using, blockchain to replace existing systems, but also on why DAOs and organizations like this can succeed, what makes algorithmically stabilized and seniorage protocols interesting with their elastic supply. So I've been kind of hanging out for a while. This is my first protocol. We're a little over 3 months in, and I'm having a lot of fun running it. We got Monkey up here too.
Yeah, well said. Yeah, Monkey, I've been in DeFi for probably about a little over a year now. So I've been degenning about and researching and doing stuff for not as long as Vu, but yeah, I've been I don't know, I've been around for a little while though, so I know what's up in the space and everything. But yeah, glad to be a part of this protocol and provide and work and do what I can to grow and help everything succeed, be a part of the community, and yeah, there's lots of stuff coming, so I'm pretty excited for what we got to share.
Hell yeah. So, like I said, this is AMA 11. If you are not sure what GoldMint Finance is, go back to some of the older AMAs. We are on YouTube. You can hear the basic rundown. We're an algo stable on ETH. We're pegged to Pax G. We seek the price of an ounce of gold, and we have some cool ways to kind of achieve that mission. And we do some other things with that synthetic gold that we seek to hold. Pax G is utilized by our DAO to increase our sustainability past our standard share token emissions. It's intended to be used almost like an endowment and give the protocol a continuing supply of revenue into the future. So that people who participate in the farms and LP and things like that, once those share tokens stop emitting, in all tomb forks or seniorage protocols, the share tokens have a finite supply and they stop eventually. We were smart enough to give ourselves 2 years instead of 1 year with the emissions. So we still have over 20 months left of printing those share tokens as a great reward for you guys. But we'll be talking a little bit about those shares too. But we also have a great plan using our DAO to kind of replace that and make sure we're sustainable past that point. And we've all seen some bigger seniorage protocols, even potentially Tomb itself and some of the OGs that had to scramble towards the end of their share token emissions to understand how they were going to keep people incentivized. These protocols, they do their own job. It's very interesting how they work. The people who participate and get the best rewards are the people who are doing typically the healthiest actions for the protocol. Um, a certain protocol might find it healthier to provide LP instead of single staking. Although they're both valuable, it'll adjust the rewards accordingly to get those people who are helping it the most also receive the best share of the benefits. So the system's an amazing system. It is a time-consuming system. One of the worst failures we saw since our launch was UST, and there were many problems with that in all throughout CeFi and the lending. That's just frightening, if nothing else. But one of the problems was that they didn't use a system like ours to slowly burn tokens when it was time to burn, and to slowly add tokens when it was trading at a favorable value. And when you have that wave, it may take a while, and you may be above and below, but it's a much more believable path. When a token releases itself and it's not backed by core holdings, the idea that it must and shall maintain an exact certain price should always raise concern, if you hear it. So the system does work. It works slowly over time. Um, and I feel really lucky to have it set up the way we did. Um, Moving on to the share tokens, I guess I released a little bit of alpha in the server on accident today. So we'll just let that be official. You guys know one of the things that we've been talking about um, is expanding beyond this initial concept. I think it was very cool to pick a peg like PAXG, which represents 1 ounce of physical gold. It was kind of the first test to see if an algo stable could achieve the price of a real world, not real world asset, something other than another token. They're used frequently to mirror L2 or L1 tokens, or something that's a low value, maybe pegged to $1 or a 20-cent coin or something like that. It's never really been tried. With the type of mission that we're pursuing. So we know that it's challenging, and we know it's a long-term mission, but we see the value in that. It's not just about getting a mirrored asset for gold via PAXG onto the blockchain, onto these L2s. It's about what else we can do too. Another thing we've talked about is releasing a silver mint token, something that's a little bit more for the common man. You'll find that there's a lot of people who like gold and find gold interesting, but realistically, they don't trade ounces of gold on a regular basis because they are expensive. But the silver market, often goes, from the teens, in US dollars into the mid 20s, or even scraping the $30 range. And it can certainly go above and below there. But it puts itself at a little bit more achievable price point for the common person. I think there's a lot of people that would like that idea too. So what I had mentioned in the server today, and this was some of the planning that we had been doing on the back end, well, when we release something like Silvermint, what are we going to do? Are we going to fork our own protocol? Would we copy Goldman and put a new silver logo on it? And that sounds like a simple approach, but it just wasn't right for us. And what we realized was the GoldMint ecosystem and the GoldMint DAO is really something special. And we could rather add these new tokens to the existing system that you guys are already a part of, instead of trying to drop a new, like a V2 or something like that. I've seen a lot of times where protocol owners may even have the best intention with a V2 or a second project or a third project, but inevitably someone or one of the projects loses the love. So we realized, instead of looking at what we're going to do in the future as separate protocols similar to Goldman, or copying our own idea, that we are going to look to continue to round out this existing ecosystem. I mean, one way to say it is we have longer emissions built in with the share tokens than any other seniorage protocol that has released up to this point, and any that are going to release, unless they change those share tokens to have a 2-year emission as well, which I would highly advise. But it hasn't been done by a lot of people. So we really do have a long runway with this protocol and with the emission of these share tokens. And I think there's more we can do with them. And one concern, I think, myself personally, and the participants of GoldMint Finance have expressed to me is, typically we see in these protocols a share token that has a pretty high value compared to the peg token. And ours has been a little bit lower. And we understand that that's partially, or primarily because we haven't printed as often as we wanted to. Those share tokens haven't been able to be utilized to their maximum capacity in the mint. And we know that time will come. And I'm familiar with the parabolic charts that occur, when you are in that situation. So I have plenty of patience for when we get there. But there are other things we can do with this share token. Imagine that we release this silver mint token and that there was a separate mint or boardroom based on if that token was trading above or below peg. So let's say Goldman was in a stretch where it was under our desired value. It's okay. We're all earning our share rewards. Everybody's still happy in the system. But what if you had somewhere to put those share tokens and get one of the other pegs that we have? If it wasn't the right time for Goldman, it might be the right time for Silvermint. If it wasn't the time for Silvermint, who knows, like a future it doesn't even have to be a metal, a diamond, something, anything that we wanted to bring over to the blockchain. So that's how we're looking at rounding out this ecosystem. As you look at our roadmap, we say we want to do additional similar things to kind of where we spark this idea with Goldman. We don't mean as a second protocol or as a different idea, with a slightly different team or this or that. It is going to be an addition to what we've already built. And we're going to continue to make this better and better and better every day. So just wanted to touch on that as you guys hear us talking about other metals or other things that we want to bring over to the blockchain. We don't mean we have a separate dream that you can choose or choose not to participate in, but we mean that we're going to use that dream to continue to bring value to this ecosystem that we're in right now. So I do want that to resonate with everyone because those are the talks we're having as a team, and it's good for the community to know where we're at on that. So I hope that gets you guys excited about the potential, with the share tokens. But I'm sure where a lot of you guys wanted to start might have been with something I think Monkey wants to talk about, which is our NFTs. We just dropped our first series of NFTs, limited edition 70, and have created a lot of hype in the last 24 hours. I don't know if Monkey wants to jump in and talk about those real quick.
Yeah, 100%. I was gonna, touch on some things on the share stuff, but yeah, no, there's
Absolutely, you can
lots of.
add to that for sure.
I'll add just one or two things and say that it's definitely something that we're going to be working hard on to ensure that it's successful and done right and everything. Because we did slightly skew the tokenomics for the original gold mint drop in Genesis. We miscalculated a little bit, so this time we're gonna make sure everything goes smooth and have some better numbers crunched and everything, so that we hopefully provide something really cool. It's not like exactly unique, but it'll definitely be unique in the way of we're going to be the commodity seniorage model. So like once we can finally develop a contract that will call a real world data feed like a chain link feed, like combining a chain link oracle with a seniorage oracle, that way we could utilize that further to continue building and continue adding and not just have gold and silver. So yeah, there's definitely lots of utility for the share token. It's heavily undervalued. But yeah, the NFTs, as everybody's been hyped and probably waiting to hear about a little bit. Yeah, we've. I actually don't know the exact mint count right now, but it's been pretty good so far. We're pretty happy. Everybody's been pretty stoked. We know a couple of people in the community that have scooped up quite a few themselves already, and they're happy. They're waiting for the reveal. And with that, we decided to also do extra little bonus giveaway. So we had one started on Monday, so 2 days ago, for just purchasing GoldMint and winning 3 share tokens. But we decided to add on to that with the NFT reveal. So the DAO acquired 3 unrevealed NFTs and are going to be giving them away based on the amount of GoldMint that you buy within this next week. And so the people that did buy on Monday, that amount is accounted toward this as well. So everybody that purchased a part of the previous contest, that dollar value is counted towards this as well. So It'll be top three biggest buyers will win, and the minimum is $500 to enter, and then like the max first place, the minimum is $1,000. So yeah, scoop up that gold mint while you can if you want to get a pretty big boost and enter into the ecosystem. Especially if with this alpha drop about the shares and everything, there's lots of value that we're gonna bring. And this is a long term protocol, as Vu said, 2 year emission. You're the only protocol to do that, and it really sets us apart in that fact that we are proving that we're here for the long run, and we want to I don't know, have that time to continue to build, grow, and add a lot of different things. And the token price will always fluctuate, and it's not ever going to be always at peg or above peg or below peg. Like it's always going to vary, but we're definitely going to bring real value towards the end of it by using our DAO, acquiring yield with gold and everything else, and providing back to the community. So it's going to be a very fun long ride. um, but
Yeah.
okay, let me go back to the NFTs a bit. So yeah, so far I guess out of the 70, I think at least about half of them have been minted. So yeah, pretty cool. We've gotten some Goldman back into the ecosystem for the DAO to utilize and support. Curious to see who's gonna get what when we do the reveal on, I think, Tuesday. And yeah, so the out of the 70 NFTs, there's the 2 chests, the 8 bars, the 20 sacks, and the 40 coins. There's 2.5 gold mint within a chest, 1 gold mint within a bar, zero point 0.2 gold mint within a sack, and 0.1 gold mint within a coin. So you're able to actually claim that gold mint out of the NFT once it is revealed and you can see what it is. If not, if you do not claim that, you will be able to in the future stake that NFT in a separate pool to most likely earn share tokens. It's not fully fleshed out, but that is the basis of the idea. And so you will not be able to, I guess, stake one NFT in both utilities, and with the second utility staking in the share token nodes to then increase your yield on your SGLDM node. That's also another future utility that, again, we've just talked about a little bit, and we'll be releasing soon. And yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it. If you want to come back
Yeah,
in, Boo.
of course. Yeah, I'm glad. I'm actually going to bring Cripsom in here in a minute too on some of our NFT collabs. But yeah, definitely wanted to get that out. We are about halfway through the mint. The reveal is 7 days from launch, which was just over 24 hours ago, 25 hours ago, something like that. I do expect these to sell out pretty quickly. Just like, if you were in our Twitter spaces last night, just like with the limited amount of gold mint on the market, how we keep everything rare. Our nodes were kept to a limited supply. Or NFTs are kept to a limited supply. We're going to try to drive value to you guys by not dropping thousands and thousands and thousands of NFTs or something like that. We're going to really figure out a way to make sure that you're getting something special when you participate in any part of the ecosystem. So I think we've done a nice job with these first NFTs and making them something that people are going to be excited to hold once they get their reveal, and bringing those use cases into the system. And definitely don't forget what he said about the bonus use case. The fact that right off the bat, you do have a chance for the NFT you purchase to have, if you're in the highest rarity level, what will end up being, more than 5 times your initial investment in GoldMint into that NFT acquisition. So should be a great opportunity. I think there's going to be a lot of people that are really hoping to get them afterwards, and I'm not expecting too many of them to go back onto the market. I think the people who got them are going to want to hold them for these use cases. We're going to make that a very tantalizing opportunity, in both fashions. So it's going to be exciting to see how it plays out after the week and after the reveal. How many people are willing to let theirs go onto the market? How many people are going to claim the Goldman out of them? It's interesting to see. There's many ways to participate. I said the system will always put rewards in front of the people who participate in the best way, but everyone has their own spin, their own vibe. There's a lot of ways to do things in GoldMint Finance, be it the NFTs, be it the nodes, be it which farms you choose to participate in, or how bullish you are on preparing for the boardroom or the mint, to print GoldMint tokens and things like that. So each person has their own spin, and I'm excited to see how everyone decides to best use the NFTs that they get. So that's going to be a lot of fun. And we wanted to get ours out there. But you guys also know we've talked about this already, but I don't see any reason not to bring it up again. We have Cripsom up here too. He is also the host of Bridge the Gap podcast. If you've not been checking those out, he'll fill you in on what you're missing there and how you can hear about that. But he can let you know about some of the upcoming collabs we're working on as well with Grape and El Taco Finance.
Yeah. Hey guys, how's it going? Boo, can you hear me all right?
Absolutely, brother.
Cool. Sorry I was late, guys. I was in a interesting conversation with a guy that ended up winning like 5 awards for this this documentary that he made. Somehow I stumbled across some meeting with him today, so that's what I was actually in a meeting with about, and I was late, so I apologize. Let's talk about these NFTs. Grape NFT. I know I said that we will get those out we're about around 2 days after the UI is done. We do have the beta done, working on getting that UI done, completed. So those will be launched just shortly after the UI is completed and finished. We're working on that. Everything's done. Everything's ready. Just timing right now. So we're ready to go for that. El Taco is the same way. We're ready to rock and roll and get those revealed as well. We will be putting an announcement out very soon about these Grape NFTs, and we're gonna just a little alpha for everybody. I'm gonna show a pixelated image, or Monkey, whoever posts the announcement, will be showing a pixelated image in there of the NFT. So you'll have to kind of read between the lines, but it gives you an idea of what it's going to look like. So that's pretty cool too. These will both, as we do here at GoldMint, quite frequently is try to provide utility. So both these NFTs will have utility use cases within the 2 protocols that the partnership is facilitated with. So that would be El Taco Finance and GoldMint Finance. And I will tell you that the El Taco community is going to be doing pretty well. I got some alpha that I can't share, but I will tell you that things are looking up for those guys, and they've always been, not even that they were ever looking down. They're just always been a solid community, and I recommend everybody to go there and check them out. With the utility case in those NFTs for the El Taco, we will be having airdrops for those NFTs. There's only going to be 5 of them, so it's going to be tough. I think they're going to, in order to get one, you're going to have to probably, I believe we have one. I can't remember if we have one left on our giveaway portion of it or not. Do you know, Vu?
Yeah, I think so, but they're going to be very, very rare.
Yeah, they have 2, and I think we have 1 to give away. I bought one out of my own bag. I paid $1,000 for the one that I wanted. So I was like, I want that one, and I got it. So, and I got it from LHB.
That AMA has got to be somewhere if no one's heard it. That was an awesome AMA when we spotted the first golden taco they released.
Oh, yeah. That one.
It was not good.
Now that one is a different. Yeah, I know which one you're talking about. Now that one, the $2,000 gold taco that Doc and I kind of spoke for, that's one you're talking about, right?
Yeah, and that El Taco AMA.
Yeah.
That was a great time.
That was crazy. I mean, here we just bought a $2,000 taco. I'm pretty sure it was like I don't know if it was the most valuable taco or not, but it was a lot of money. So
I think so. Gold taco, 100%.
yeah, I mean, we really, a lot of people will, talk the talk and not walk the walk. And I think what we try to do here is walk the walk. And I'm not talking about people that we're surrounded in the community with. I'm talking about just in general, just people in general. You'll find that they'll talk about a lot of things happening and then never deliver. Even though we're talking about them, we're going to deliver. Sometimes timing's not favorable for us in DeFi. Everybody knows this. It's tough. So just look forward to those. They're coming. We're walking the walk, you guys. We got a lot of things coming up that nobody knows about. So that's for the El Taco one. That sums it up for that. Now the grape one, that's a great one too. I love those guys. I've gotten closer with LB and NB throughout this, so this has been great too. I had them on my podcast personally. That's sponsored by GoldMint. So thank you. And it was great. We had a great time with them, or I did. And I'm sure if you listened to it, you heard kind of how LB is and NB. And then we actually talked about liquid capital mostly, but Grape was mentioned, and we discussed a little bit of the NFTs, so you can pop in the podcast and listen to it a little bit more in depth if you'd like. We didn't really talk too much about the utility, so I can explain that. It will have utility cases, use cases within the Grapes protocol as well as GoldMint. So that'll be fun. I'm excited for them and the announcement. And when they come out, we'll talk more in the detail about the utility use cases. So just kind of stick around and be watching for them. Be ready, because they're going to be very limited.
Yeah, and I think we'll probably try and get those guys for an AMA, probably specifically like LB, because he did like all of the work. Like obviously Cripsom and LB, so like it'd be good if we got an AMA with them and kind of got to chat about them on the launch day or something. So I think community can expect to see that. We're
Yeah.
hoping within the next week or two, but can't say a date for sure. But we have been pushing the devs like every single day. Like, let's drop this right now. Let's go. Like, what are we waiting for? Lots of stuff. So we're pushing hard.
Yep. So yeah, and then if anyone didn't pull this out of there, the gist of these two collections is the Grape collection is going to be more available. You'll probably be able to acquire it in a very similar way to the way that you've acquired other Grape NFTs in the past on AVAX network, likely minted probably through their I believe they're going to have a separate page on the website that will also have a link directing to. And then the El Taco ones are going to be of a super rare series. So we're not talking 100 of these. I think there's only 5 in the world. So those are going to be almost only acquirable in a special gift or raffle or giveaway. Those aren't going to be available for your everyday participant. I think we already did have one member, GoldMint Greg, I think won one, if I'm correct. So those will be on a extremely limited release, but we might be doing some other fun things with El Taco too. They're a great protocol, but definitely keep your eyes out for a chance, to win or receive one of those. It's going to be a truly rare NFT. There are only 5 in existence.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. I totally forgot about that. But Greg down there in the chat is one of the people who actually won a El
Oh
Taco
yes,
X
GFP.
Goldman
That's a
NFT.
golden taco.
Yeah,
You
yep,
guys
that's it.
realize you are in the presence of some of the most valuable artwork on the face of the planet. Not financial advice, but you can tell from looking at that taco that I'm correct. So realize that there are some beautiful shiny tacos, and they're just starting to sneak out to our very best community participants. So going to be
Yeah.
exciting to see those opportunities continue to be put in front of you guys. So yeah, we're gonna do some fun stuff with the collabs. We're talking to some other friends that do NFTs as well. We are always, reaching out to new protocols to partner with, but NFT protocols, DeFi protocols, anybody who's trying to build, innovate, do something cool in the space. I say we always look for like serial non-ruggers, like people who've just been like out there, like hanging, building, like doing stuff, like, working for the cause for DeFi. So we got a lot of upcoming stuff coming like that, but that's some stuff for you guys to get excited about there. Um,
We actually
Again,
had
I
a few
don't want
questions
to.
if you wanted
Well, yeah,
to.
we can jump into some questions if you want to,
Yeah.
for sure,
This one's actually
definitely.
this one's for you. I'm pretty sure for you, Vu. What's the most successful DAO you've seen so far in DeFi? For me personally, it would be Ohm, but I'll let you answer.
Yeah, that would be my answer. So I am, I guess what someone might mean, like, and I don't, you got to be very careful with your words, but some people might mean success, like, you were a part of a protocol and it had just a great increase in dollar value or something like that. I was part of Redacted early on, which came out of Ohm, and that was really good during their like bull run and things like that. But Ohm really is something to truly appreciate, and I think that would have to be just my example of the best DAO that I've ever noticed, because I am an Ohmie. I mean, I believe in what they're trying to do with like the economy and things like that. I mean, really what they've done with bonds, and that's why I was really passionate about partnering with them for the bond program, not just for what we do right now to kind of support the bonds in seniorage protocols, because there are some disappointing things with the way other protocols look at their bond tokens and utilize those. So we wanted to look at them. I think they're just innovators in bonds. What they do with their regular bonds, their paper style bonds, which are like a note, like an NFT that can have different expirations based on when you bought it. Each person's bond that they hold is unique. They have inverse bonds for bringing things in and out of the treasury as needed. And they've set themselves up with a revenue model. What you guys have to look for out there are people who have an idea about revenue. When you hear the meetings of the core team, and you're in on some of those back end discussions, and I guess that's not something everyone experiences, but look for the guys who are chasing revenue. And Ohm set up a really great revenue model with using their Olympus Pro. I mean, technically, we are a partner, but you also become a source of revenue for them. They get a small percentage of the trades that go through Olympus Pro contracts, which would include ours. So they have a really great revenue model. They continue to grow their treasury. I've seen those guys stay bullish as heck with price drops that could crush almost any community. So their team is they're diehard, true DeFi OGs, and I got a lot of love for Ohm. So that would be my answer as well, Monkey.
Yeah, no, well said. I kind of figured it would be, but I wasn't 100% sure. I can definitely say yeah, at least me and you, we take inspiration from them and how they've kind of run a protocol and a project and everything, what they've done with their DAO. Like, we take lots of inspiration from that and really see that
Oh
as
yeah.
something that's been successful, even though obviously, like, price action hasn't been, I guess, amazing. But what they have succeeded in is like increasing their DAO's holding substantially over the last year or so. It's incredible what they've done. So yeah, we definitely aspire, and we took inspiration, especially with the bonds and everything. So yeah, can could say that Ohm would probably be the favorite. So that's a good
Yep.
one. Another
Uh,
question would be why peg to gold instead of a stable coin? But
well, no, that's a good question, and I'll tell you, it's because I'm biased, and I look at gold as a stable medium of exchange. I am not thrilled. I don't want to jump on any currency, but all of them, the U.S. dollar, the yen, euro, whatever, wherever. I'm not thrilled with the pace and path of the issuance of centralized currencies. So even though some people may disagree with us in our pursuit, I thought pegging to gold via PaxG was a more stable action than paying for the thing known as a US dollar, the thing known as a euro. Um, and I'm sure there's some people that thinks that's crazy, but it's because for me, I thought that was a great stable medium of holding value that we could bring to the blockchain. So I found it to be more valuable than what other people call a stable coin, and that's why we selected it.
well said. I think we got Greg that wants to come up. So Greg, I'm gonna invite you up
Yeah, we can
if
do
you want
some
to.
live ones.
Yeah, no, 100%. If anybody ever wants to hop up, just coming up. Hey, what's up, Greg?
Hello.
Hey.
Hey.
I can't hear anybody else.
Oh, we can hear you,
Really?
brother.
He's- Greg's got
He
technical
doesn't. He didn't
difficulties.
know if he was on or not, and I believe he cut off. But Greg's always got a great question or something for us, so he may come back in or get that in the chat. But we always love to see the regulars who come in and or listen in and ask good questions. I always appreciate the questions, guys. So thank you. Thank you for those two questions. I don't think we have anything else typed at the moment. You can try to bring Greg back up again. See what happens
he's,
here. Invited.
he's saying
You
his
to
mic wasn't
speak.
working, but it was working. We could hear you, Greg. You just couldn't hear us.
Sometimes things like that will happen to me in the Twitter spaces, but I'm working on mitigating that issue.
I can't figure out Twitter Spaces. I have tried to get on there and I can do it on my phone, but I can't do it on my PC. It won't let me even come up on
Yeah.
stage. All I can do is just view it.
So that's actually the thing about Twitter Spaces is that it does not work on PC. It is a mobile only
Mobile.
thing.
Why can't they just, that's just
I would
see,
love to call
that
Twitter and
goes to
ask them
show
to
you
change about 20 things, but something
that
tells me
goes
they're
to
not
show you
going
how
to
much
take
I
my
know
call.
about Twitter or anything. I don't
Yeah.
have any accounts, you guys, like nothing. This is the furthest I go into social media's Discord.
Yeah, I
Funny.
always hate to say we pick favorites, but we do over here at Goldman. I guess some of you will be hearing this on YouTube, but it's always live on the Discord. And as our loyal Telegram participants often complain, we definitely show the most Discord love, but we do love doing the Twitter Spaces and our Telegram and YouTube audiences as well. So shout out to everyone, but come hang with us on Discord. We like it here.
That's where we're most native for sure. I got Bird Dog that wants to come on up. So I'm gonna
Yeah,
give
hop
him
on
the
up, Bird
invite.
Dog.
Hey guys, can you?
Yeah.
Yep, we got you.
Hey, how's it going? Yeah, I don't have any questions. So I'm new. I'm just so I won't take up a lot of your time. I'm just watching and learning and gaining more confidence in the project. I'm also a firm believer in PAX-G over Tether or or any other stable coin.
Right
Um,
on.
yeah, and I mean gold and silver just come out just in general is way better than any fiat. So, but yeah, I'm just really liking this project. And I've had PAX G for a while after some of these volatility in the whole market in general. So I'm looking for a place to gain interest on it instead of just hodling it. So yeah, I just as I gain more confidence and hear you guys more and learn more about the team, uh, it will allow me to invest more. You know what I mean? And I love the digital aspect of, I'm also a physical holder too, but obviously it's the crypto aspect. I mean, I can zig and zag. I'm a little more agile. You know what I mean with it, so it's beautiful. So that's all I got. So I won't take up more time. I'm still learning about from you guys, man. So thank you.
No,
Dude, that's
that's
awesome.
excellent. That counts as a question. That's some great, great to hear. First, I love the fact that you feel the same way as me. I didn't mean to go poo poo on fiat in this AMA, but I feel just as passionately. I strongly agree with that, and I think it's great to see this on the blockchain. So you'll learn that a big part of our mission is succeeding here on Ethereum, where PAX G lives, and building our core here, and then also being able to deliver this to the layer twos. We have a lot of friends from AVAX and Phantom, Binance Smart Chain who don't have the ability to participate in something like PAX G. So not only do we want to, bring the yield here on Ethereum, but we also want to bring the concept of digital or synthetic gold style tokens to people on the L2s as well. So we have a nice
100%. Yeah, and by just that and the interoperability, I think I think it's awesome. So you're talking my language, man. Even like XRPL getting cross, all these other just cross interoperability, I think is the way, uh, and especially add more exposure. But thanks. I'll drop off. I'm just gonna listen. I can ramble, and I'm not gonna ramble. I'm gonna let you guys talk.
No, that's great,
well,
man. Thank you for coming up.
All right, thank you.
yeah, right on. So
No,
I think that was great.
I was just gonna say, yeah, no, that's like honestly, that's exactly the type of I don't want to say the word, but that's the type of individuals we're looking to outreach to find the ecosystem and see that they're interested, like having interest in gold in real life as well as on the blockchain. That's our exact audience. Like that's boom, perfect. You're the person we're looking for essentially. So
Absolutely. I wish
it's awesome.
Doc was on here because Doc, my co-founder, is the one who really steered me towards PAX G specifically when I was starting to initially just think about the concept of gold peg in general. And I know he subscribes to a pretty level like high quality news, investor news or things like that. And then they talk crypto as well, and they had actually just complained about not having the right place to get yield on their PAX G. I mean, he screenshotted this article, and it's from a paid service or whatever, and they're like, guys, we were really bullish on PAX G, but almost like we don't know what to tell you. um, because there's just not an appropriate place to get yield on it as well. So actually, we've started working on a campaign to have some outreach to some folks like that. Someone had recently asked me, meant to be non-offensive, but how are you going to do outreach to boomers? Like, that's great that you like Twitter Spaces now, but more. We want you to, find ways to reach out to other potential participants. So we do look at things like that. But that also brings up a good point. There's a lot of people who already love PAX G. A lot of the folks here learned about it from us, and we're so happy you did. I've had people thank me personally, say like, "Hey, when you launched, a few months ago, I moved a bunch of my holdings into PAX G. I didn't know what was going to happen with the market and the other algo stables. I took money out of Terra and went into PAX G." I'm like, I'm so happy to hear that, So a lot of folks did learn it from us, but there's also a lot of folks out there who already know about PaxG, but don't know that there's a place where they can participate in yield along with holding that token. So we definitely want to get that message out there. And you guys will notice we have set up, Monkey and I have been working a lot behind the scenes in the last couple of weeks, setting up upcoming AMAs and YouTube. So we have another live AMA coming up again with James Pelton. We'd done one of those a little while ago. That was a really cool experience. We have one coming up with Crypto Degen about the new features in our ecosystem. We have an AMA coming up in the Cardinal House server. Monkey, I'm probably forgetting some, but we have quite a few new means of outreach coming out this month. So we'll be sure to get those out in the server so you guys can hop over if you want to, but also so we can get that same message out to some new participants as well.
Yeah, 100%. That's something that we're definitely keen on is, increasing that outreach even to not just like DeFi or crypto, but to real world people, trying to get some articles or get some boosted Medium articles or whatever we can to try and show our name more. And yeah, as you said, like, Doc has definitely been the key point behind PAX G essentially, and really, really utilizing that and bringing yield, because there is no other place. Like this is the place to earn yield on PAX G, and something that we are working on is developing locked staking of PAX G, so that you can lock and stake your PAX G and earn more PAX G on that. It'd be a
Is that
lot
alpha or
less.
not?
No, we've talked
Okay,
about this. Yeah,
good,
so
good.
yeah, so we're developing something to allow you to stake your PAX G. It'll lock it for a time period. We're thinking 90 days, and you'll be able to earn 10% interest off of that 90-day staked period.
Approximately, numbers aren't
Yeah.
finalized. But
Yep.
contract
Perfect.
almost is. This is not super long-term roadmap. I've spoke with developers about this contract today. So
Yep.
that is something that we're looking at. So if you are, and this might actually appeal a lot to people like Bird Dog. Let's say you're just learning about us and just gonna, put your foot into the system or something like that. And that's okay if you're not sold on GoldMint yet, or don't understand the way shares operate in these seniorage protocols. It can be a little bit odd. We're gonna try to put a PAX G option in front of you as well. We love PAX G too, so you can expect to see that coming soon.
I'm just reading back. I think Greg has a few questions here. Hold up 1 second. So, have you decided on whether the new peg is going to be cross-chain or also on ETH? And I think we kind of have decided we do want to go cross-chain, but we don't know if that's going to be implemented immediately. But we
You could
definitely do want to
expect it
start.
to start on ETH. Yeah, would be the probably
Yeah,
right way to say it.
it
So,
will.
so
Yeah,
this is
it'll.
always going to be the home. The GoldMint Finance connecting to the Ethereum network, that is always going to be the home base. We're going to do some cool things. And when we do go over, I mean, we're talking about a couple different chains right now. When we go over there, there's going to be great ways to participate. I love, almost all of our partners are on either AVAX. We have quite a few great partners on AVAX or Binance Smart Chain. Kronos, we're making a lot of friends on Kronos Network. These are all EVM chains, so we do have the ability to operate with them. So we're going to look at great ways to, if you choose to hold GoldMint on AVAX, we're already discussing on the back end what sort of yield we might be able to put in front of you for being an LP provider on whatever our AVAX DEX is. So those conversations are happening right now, but you can always expect the home base, the mints where the tokens are printed, the core ecosystem to live here on Ethereum. And then we're going to be excited to venture out and put some aspects of it in front of our friends.
Yep, definitely. It's hard to I don't we haven't really fully talked about, developing like a protocol, let's say, like an actual fully fledged out protocol for another chain. We're really keen on, keeping it on ETH and really pushing that whale mentality of, commodities and everything. This is really the home. Um and so another question
Tokens
is, what are you going to
themselves.
do? What was that?
I said, but the tokens themselves will soon be available, but you can expect the core home,
Yes.
to stay here.
Yeah.
What's
Yeah,
that next
exactly.
question?
We've thought about, opening the LP provider pools on like other chains, but definitely not like a fully fledged out protocol. Um, so yeah, the other question is, what are you going to do to make sure that the new peg supports the entire Goldman ecosystem, both silver and gold, instead of just one side?
Ah, yeah. So that's a great question. So that peg token, and that's part of the reason that we wanted to have that concept. Why did we want to do it at all? We knew that we wanted it to support the ecosystem, and we saw the best way as, instead of taking away from the ecosystem, being a fork, being a multi-chain fork or something like that of Goldman, but to be part of it. It is now going to deliver another use case. We have share tokens that have an awesome use case just in the fact that they're able to print Goldman on, even on what's been rare occasions. It's just amazing rates when those prints occur. But we also have the share GoldMint nodes coming out, which is going to be a really fun game. And we have some things going on like that. But this adds another aspect to those share tokens. So anytime you do something and you provide value, a use for your tokens. So instead of having two things to do with the share tokens, you'll now have three things you can choose to do with them. Just like with our NFTs, instead of having one way to stake, we're looking at two ways to stake. So anytime you release, an extra use case or an extra thing that you can do with those tokens, you're going to help bring value to it. You're going to increase demand. You're going to increase the amount that's locked up in certain places. You're going to reduce the available supply, and that helps see price increase. In the basic tokenomics that we seek. So that's a big part of it. Is we want to use Silvermint to drive value in our existing ecosystem and with our existing tokens. So it's going to do that with the share tokens. Then you will also likely see a Genesis or pools for Silvermint strongly supporting Goldman. When we had our first Genesis, and like Monkey had actually mentioned this earlier, one nice thing about releasing another token is I've personally learned. You know what I mean? It's my job to learn as we go along, and there's things that I would have done different with our initial launch that we can correct and improve in this version. But what we also have is we have a special token now by having the GoldMint token. So that's going to be extremely well represented in Genesis of Silvermint. So you're going to see, as people want to start heading in that direction and acquiring that Silvermint token, that they're also going to need to use or have GoldMint to participate there. There'll be a small tax system, just like with our other launch. So you'll see some initial support of GoldMint tokens specifically. Then you'll see long and ongoing support of the shares, which obviously also increases the value of GoldMint, because then you're getting higher rewards when you participate with your GoldMint in the farms and stuff. The more valuable the shares are, the more valuable your rewards are, the more people will want to have GoldMint. So that's how
Yep.
we've looked
So
at it.
I'll touch up here a little bit too and say there's a couple of key takeaways from doing like another peg, and like what we're gonna bring and the value that we're gonna ensure and try to build. And by adding another peg and another way that you can stake your shares and another mint, it'll be the silver mint, not the gold mint. And you'll be able to earn silver when it's above peg and trading over peg. And this time we have a way better situation to provide that by doing a Genesis phase where we can allow, I'll say I've thought about it, and it'll be heavily focused on Goldman LP PAX G as well as S Goldman USDC LP. So those two will heavily be the highest weight distribution. But I'm thinking there may also be ability to single stake Goldman or share tokens, but earn a lot less. We really want to push that LP drive for the Genesis to allow only the strongest and committed participants of the ecosystem to earn and get the first silver tokens on the blockchain, essentially. So we want to really drive that, and that's going to help bring more value to GoldMint. And yeah, it's always going to be about bringing value to each other. So we really sat down and thought about this to make sure that what we do doesn't just forget about GoldMint and make it like, only focused on Silvermint, but by driving the value of the shares, if the price is increasing here and maybe TVL does go into the Silvermint farms, let's say like silver, USDC, or I'm just throwing out something random, but then the APR will increase in the GoldMint farms where all the TVL has moved and the share token prices increased. That's also going to affect the GoldMint farm. So you're going to see if something does shift or whatever, you're going to be reaping more yield on the GoldMint end than on the silver end. So it'll kind of balance out the ecosystem and allow you to diversify a little bit more, and also just provide more utility, as well as once we have the share token nodes, once we have those, it's going to be, multiple different ways to, I guess, have fun and participate and earn yield. So that's going to be one of our biggest drives and pushes.
Yeah, excellent additions there. So that's another great question. I mean, these are, these things that you're asking, these are the exact things we ask ourselves. We have, daily meetings where we discuss this kind of stuff. And that's been a big topic of ours lately, is how we were going to use our upcoming roadmap to support our existing ecosystem, not to step away from it, but to support it even further. And that's just a handful of the ideas that we had.
Yep. So there's another question actually by Greg, and he, I think this is going to be for Crypsom. It's going to be, where is it? How are the grape NFTs going to be distributed?
I guess it'll be. What does he mean undistributed?
I believe he
more
means is it like
elaborate
a
on the question.
mint. I believe he's asking if it's like a mint or if it's like a special thing like airdrop or.
So, okay, is it going to be fair sale or VIP mint? There's going to be a fair sale for a portion of them. Yes.
Yeah, good
That is-
answer would probably be both. There will be some
Yeah.
VIP mints probably given away on this one. There are 100, which is a super rare number for an NFT release, but it does open up the ability to just take care of a couple people that have noticed both, caught our attention, and also guys that have caught Grape's attention as just being awesome participants in their ecosystems. So there will, I'm sure, be a couple VIP ones, but there will be a public minting of these as well.
Yep.
So they will be available to everyone. They will
That's
probably go
the way to
really
put it,
fast.
Woo. Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah, and that like Vu said, like I believe they'll probably go within less than 24 hours, but I don't know, I may be wrong. So
They're gonna go in the first 5 minutes. I guarantee you they'll be gone. Like I'll throw a bet out there, man. I'll bet somebody one gold mint that they'll be gone in the first 5 minutes. So anybody that wants to take a crack at that bet, I'm ready.
We'll
that's
see.
funny.
Maybe the GoldMint team fund will jump in on that, and we'll donate it to charity if we win.
That's
But yeah,
actually something like kind of a part of I guess it's kind of related to this, but there's something that our dev talked about being able to implement a little bit later, not like immediately, but something along the lines of an escrow service where instead of if you've ever wanted to like trade tokens with people or do OTC or like anything like that, he's created essentially a way that you can do that safely, and it goes into a contract where like with two people agreeing to trade tokens, and there's like essentially a middleman, but it's a contract. And so yeah, that's something that may be coming. I don't know, I can't really say soon, but at some point we may see that. I think that'll be pretty cool.
yes, that is our contractor dev. From Moonvault, they're working on that. So that is something that we'll have access to, even if it isn't an immediate part of our ecosystem. We do have some discussions with people who are working on things like that, and that is a really cool thing about blockchain, is being able to have this kind of like trustless contracts. you're supposed to deliver A, I'm supposed to deliver B. Once both things go into the contract, sends B to the person who sent A, it sends A to the person who sends B. If anything goes wrong in that process, it just reverts the transactions and returns, to the initial senders what they had sent in. So, there's a lot of transactions in the real world require an immense amount of effort to make sure that both of those parties are honest. So it is beautiful to see, those types of escrow services and things on the blockchain. It is a real, core use case of Ethereum smart contracts. Almost, their initial, most simple,
Yeah,
conceptualization was on
that's
that
actually
front.
funny. Yeah, no, it's actually funny how like it's something so simple can actually be really useful. Like it can
Yeah.
really help out and really just make
I
you feel
saw, and this
safe.
is, yeah, it's a bad joke, but somebody had like tweeted or messaged that with some of the collapses of CFI and Celsius and stuff like that, that they had certain wallets that were paying back their loans because it was coded on the blockchain. You know what I mean? No amount of lawyers or bankruptcy courts could force these guys to cough up the cash. But the contracts they had on the blockchain, their loans that had locked collateral in it, are just paying themselves back just as they're supposed to operate still today. You know?
Yeah.
So that can be nice to see blockchain used, in that fashion. Cool.
Cool.
That's funny. Yeah, we got some funny stuff going on in the chat here. I don't know if anybody's following along, but
I'm not, I can't see it right now. Any more real questions? We're just laughing about
We
Boo's
won't talk,
rant.
we won't talk
just
about
Greg wanting to make a little special offer that's a little bit tasteful, I guess.
that. Bird Dog
Oh,
City's got a small community that's growing. I'll do a YouTube video for this and shill it. Bullish. Thank you, brother.
very cool.
Thank
Yeah,
Yeah,
appreciate
no,
the
that's
love.
awesome.
Appreciate
I can
that.
even say he's been saying that he wants to move a little bit, and we definitely have some stuff planned a little bit down to make people coming into the system feel more comfortable and not feel like they're gonna get, I don't know, essentially dumped on. But we'll talk about that later on another date.
Yeah, it's all part of it. So that's one thing that has been nice is we have been alive for 90 days. So for anyone who is new, for the people who've been here the whole time, we went through some battle hell coming out of Genesis. We had Genesis dumpers that took us all the way down to 0.01 peg. It was quite a fight to get out of there. So we are very fortunate to be at a point where we've lost the bad actors and grown the good actors in this protocol. So we really are a nice family over here at Goldman. I mean, I jump in the server on the worst days, and everyone's nice, having a good time. I mean, it's anybody can have a bad day, but I'll tell you, I jump in some of these other servers, and it's just a totally different atmosphere. So definitely huge shout out to you guys, the community, man. I love having you guys. I love waking up in the morning and jumping in the chat, saying good morning and seeing how everybody's doing. It's a great place to be.
Yeah, that's one of the best things about this place, and that's something I'm super proud of, I guess, is growing this community and like building such a solid and strong place for people to come hang out. And like some of the worst days, even some of the worst days in DeFi, where everybody was down bad and like things were not going great, the market was crashing, it was still okay. It was still a good time here at Goldman Finance. It wasn't down or bad, or there's never fudding or anything like that. Like we're always 100% open, transparent, and we're like never gonna do anything shady or weird or scammy. And yeah, I think it shows. And like you can engage with the community all day, and everybody's gonna be super super happy, helpful, and it's a great place to be. So I love it here.
I want to
Yeah.
touch on something too. This just kind of came to my mind. A lot of the time, this throughout this UI, we've been trying to get it out. We thought it was going to be out sooner than it was going to be out, but when you build like a solid project like that everybody's working on building here, it's not going to be your typical time frame. It's going to take more time because with what we have going on here and the security of it, it takes time. I mean, in order for things to work correctly and and start over, basically what we had to do on the UI. It just takes time. So I hope everybody kind of like takes that into account, that what we're doing here is completely different than everybody else in your typical tomb fork.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
worth touching on briefly for sure. I think a lot of us here are excited about that, have been using the beta UI a little bit. If you haven't checked it out yet, please do. But we have, kind of moved to a system that completely separates from any third-party providers or third-party calls. And that's brought a lot of independence and security and problem elimination, to our user experience, not even just our UI. But yeah, we have at least 11 contracts that are live. We probably have more, like 13 or 14 if I count the not deployed ones. It's crazy behind the scenes what goes into it. So Crypsom is making a good point. But yeah, there is a lot that goes into it. And you'll see that with everything is we're going to always achieve that right level of balance. You could technically work on something forever, for it to be perfect, and never get it out, or you could rush and get something out before it was quality. So we're always gonna have those same discussions in house too, and figure out what we have to do to get you guys the best possible user interface and experience when you go onto our website. But we have minimum standards. We absolutely insisted on having some things that we weren't willing to compromise on, and we're trying to roll out a great product. So hopefully you're enjoying using the beta. If you do have any questions or you do see anything, having trouble clicking any of the buttons or anything like that, please reach out to us. I mean, we are on Discord 24/7. We're easy to get a hold of. You can message on YouTube if you're listed in there. But if you do find any issues with the beta, please reach out so we can get those corrected as we get ready to kind of deploy that as our main live UI going forward.
Yeah, and with that, we actually have a couple contests going on right now for buying GoldMint. So if you're interested in entering the ecosystem and want that little boost, just for participating, look at the latest announcements and the hashtag giveaway news channel. There's 2 recent ones in there. They're both still live and active right now. And I know Burdog was saying he's thinking about entering. Well, there's a pretty great entry prize right now. So yeah, it's something to definitely look at if you're interested. We always hold little giveaways, and we'd like to, give back to the community. Community is always what drives
Yeah,
us and
do
is
a
always
random
going to bring
number,
us here.
monkey.
Yeah,
Pull one. Let's give away
Come
2
on.
share tokens.
Hold up
Like-
1 second. I could probably
Sorry,
get
it's
it up
the
in
giveaway.
2 seconds. Yep.
It's the magic word.
How many? Okay. We got 5. We got 5. What is it? Crypto Bean. Congratulations to
Nice.
Crypto Bean for winning 2 share tokens. I just did a random number generator, by the way. I did 1 through 10, depending on how many people are in the chat, and I got 5. So that would be Crypto Bean.
Crypto Bean it is. Lucky number 5.
Yeah.
Good day to
Lucky
be
number
5.
Open up a support ticket and send us your DeFi Ethereum wallet address, and we'll get you over 2 share tokens as a little gift for coming and hanging out in the AMA. Thanks for listening and joining in.
Great. I think that is a pretty good place to close it out. If there aren't any more questions, thanks guys for hopping in. Oh, I want to show real quick. Gladiator Finance, one of our liquid capital partners, is launching tomorrow. They had their NFTs today, and they have their Genesis pools tomorrow. I've been talking to those guys a lot. They actually asked me to be on the multi-sig, just do some things to help them, like with security and safety. As somebody who's been around in DeFi for a little bit, I happily oblige. So I'll be having some fun with those guys. Sigil's on here this evening. He has his own token drop on Signed LLC. There should be a link to that in our announcements. That pre-sale goes on for about 2 weeks. Definitely check that out. It's a way to participate in, kind of like the first decentralized label for where the fans and the artists, can participate in the profits from songs and music. So check that out too.
Yeah. I'll quickly touch up on that point and say, yeah, if you have anything on Matic, definitely go check out Sigil Token Presale. It's a way that artists can kind of give back to the people that listen to their music, because in regular music the only people that are making money are the artists themselves. Well, in DeFi, it's about everybody, it's about community. So this is a way that artists can kind of have where their monthly commissions and stuff from their actual music, their real life money comes in, it goes in and it goes into Matic and it goes into their token. And by holding and staking the artist token, you can actually earn more of that artist's token and earn the the monthly revenue that they're making from the money, or
The
from their
streaming.
artists and the music and the streaming. Exactly. So yeah, it's a really cool, innovative little thing. I think it's going to come up pretty big soon. Kind of seeing more incorporation of real world utility. We're obviously all about real world utility, so definitely like that. And shout out to Sigil, he's got that GoldMint song. So I think it's like, I don't know if it's 99 or 100% of the I can't remember what the wording is, but all of the rewards for that song go back to the stakers. So by listening and streaming GoldMint, you're essentially earning yourself money if you're a holder and staker of Sigil token. So yeah, pre-sale is live right now. Definitely go check that out. And we got lots of other AMAs and things, as mentioned earlier. We have one on Friday morning. It's a little bit earlier, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard, 7 p.m. Pacific. And that one's with Delta Finance. I think the link is up in an announcement. So yeah, that one's like a little bit of a mega space. We'll be able to talk about the project a little bit and go up. Then we have something with Cardinal House. We're going to do an AMA with them, and that'll be on Tuesday. I think that's at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll get to go and hang out with them and explain GoldMint a little bit. So yeah, make sure you come out to these AMAs and come show support, ask us some good questions, and try and show that we're here for the long run, and we're good shit. And yeah, there's a lot of other stuff as well that we're getting lined up and is going to be coming out. So definitely look forward to the announcements. Don't forget about the Discord prizes and daily tasks. And yeah, keep an eye out for all the cool, fun things we're having. And thanks everybody for coming in. And you guys are lucky. You got the little alpha spill of the Silvermint token. I guess the alpha for that. So there you go.
The question was too. I just remembered this. When will Silvermint be launched? And somebody was
Undefined.
Yeah.
Undefined.
They asked,
I'm sorry, guys. Well, we don't know exactly yet.
Yeah, that
so
one
they
is
asked 2022, and my answer was, I believe we'd have it done in 2022. So
yeah, I'll go that far. I'll put myself on that limb. It will be this year, definitely.
Yes.
I'll
Yeah,
take
we
that
just can't
risk.
give it definitive because there's a lot of coding that goes into that. I think we can say this, but we're going to be working with Chainlink to develop.
We can say
Oracle.
integrating Chainlink.
Yeah.
Well, that
right.
pretty much just makes the point. We're talking with somebody who has a lot of experience with this, and looking at integrating Chainlink to help make that work for you guys.
Yeah, so that we can actually call that silver price feed. And that's something that's going to be a lot of development work, and that's never been done before. So that is going to be a little bit difficult. So we literally cannot say how long it will take.
We'll keep you guys posted. So thanks for joining in, and we'll talk to you next week.
Yeah,
Cool.
Thanks everybody.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Thanks everybody. We'll see you next time.